Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Saar has welcomed Syria's participation in the Brussels meeting, stating, "Let's see what will happen." Saar also asserted that Hamas is obstructing direct aid distribution in Gaza, aiming to control it as a financial resource, even attacking civilians. He emphasized the crucial need to deliver aid directly to people and sever Hamas's control over it.
With regard to the meeting, of course.
The United Nations has said that at least 875 Palestinians have been killed while trying to access humanitarian aid in Gaza over the past 6 weeks. According to Thamin al-Khitan, spokesperson for the UN Human Rights Office, 674 of the deaths occurred near sites run by the US and Israeli-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, while another 201 were killed along aid convoy routes managed by the UN and other organizations. The GHF, which operates outside the UN-led aid system and uses private US security firms, denies any fatalities at its locations and has accused the UN of spreading misinformation, claims the UN has firmly rejected. Gaza-based health authorities have announced that the death toll from Israeli attacks on the Gaza Strip has climbed to over 58,300 and over 139,000 were wounded. Gaza-based health authorities have reported that Israeli military operations in Gaza had killed 120 Palestinians and injured 557 others in the past 24 hours. Israeli tanks were spotted near the Gaza border, with smoke rising from the Palestinian enclave as the army warned northern Gaza residents to evacuate. The military said it is advancing west towards Gaza City center, urging civilians to move south to the Al-Mawasi area, designated a humanitarian zone. The warning came amid stalled ceasefire negotiations between Israel and Hamas in Doha, where hopes for a 60-day truce and detainee release have dimmed. Both sides blame each other for the lack of progress. A spokesperson for Qatar's foreign ministry, Majid al-Ansari, has said negotiations for a Gaza ceasefire remain active but are still in the early stages. Speaking at a press briefing, the official emphasized continuous efforts and intense communication between Qatar and the US, with mediation teams still in Doha. Al-Ansari also condemned Israel's actions, insisting that international accountability is necessary. Finally, he noted that no mediator can impose a fixed timeline on the negotiations. The European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Kaja Kallas, has stated that while some aid trucks and supplies are reaching Gaza, it's insufficient. Ahead of a meeting with Middle Eastern and EU officials, Kallas emphasized the need for greater implementation of agreed-upon humanitarian improvements with Israel, despite last week's accord.
On that, I can say that we reached an agreement with the Israelis on the provision.
Officials from more than 30 countries will gather in Bogota, Colombia for a two-day conference focused on defining legal and diplomatic measures to hold the war in Gaza and address the illegal occupation of the West Bank. The meeting, convened by the Hague Group and co-chaired by Colombia and South Africa, responds to escalating violations of international law in Palestine, including allegations of genocide. UN Special Rapporteur Francesca Albanese will lead a press briefing during the event, emphasizing the need to bring politics back within the limits of international law to end the violence. UNRWA's communication chief, Juliette Touma, has said malnutrition rates among children in Gaza are rising, with 1 in 10 children screened at UNRWA clinics found to be malnourished. The increase is linked to the tightened Israeli siege lasting more than 4 months. Last month, data from the nutrition cluster cited by OCHA revealed that over 16,500 children under 5 have been treated for severe acute malnutrition in Gaza since January. Christian leaders have alleged Israeli settlers are attacking West Bank holy sites, prompting some to consider leaving. Patriarch Theophilos III reported a fire near a 5th century church and cemetery, plus home attacks in Taibe, jeopardizing Christian heritage. This violence, intensifying since late 2023, threatens the local community amidst rising regional tensions.
These actions are a direct and international threat to our local community first.
United Torah Judaism, a key ultra-Orthodox party in Israel's coalition, has announced it is leaving Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government over a bill affecting military draft exemptions for their constituents. The Degel HaTorah faction cited repeated government violations of commitments to protect the status of Jewish seminary students. The party's exit, effective within 48 hours, leaves Netanyahu with a narrow parliamentary majority and increases his reliance on 2 far-right parties that oppose ceasefire talks with Hamas and have threatened to quit over peace efforts in Gaza. In Lebanon, Israeli jets have launched over 10 airstrikes early today in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, supposedly targeting Hezbollah positions used for training. Lebanese security sources confirmed the attacks in several eastern locations, with residents reporting loud explosions across the region. The strikes mark a significant escalation in tensions along the Israel-Lebanon border. Moving on to Tehran, where Iran has warned it will retaliate if France, Britain and Germany trigger the nuclear deal's snapback sanctions. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman Ismail Baghei called the E3's threat politically motivated, arguing Iran's reduced compliance stems from US and other signatories' violations. He also cited recent attacks on Iranian nuclear facilities, ruling out talks until diplomacy's effectiveness is assured. The UN Security Council has extended the UN mission in Yemen until January 28th of 2026 to support the Hodeidah Agreement. The resolution allows for future mandate review and adjustments, aiming for efficiency and cost reduction, especially with a durable ceasefire. That comes as China supported the extension, emphasizing political resolution, Yemeni-led dialogue, and respect for sovereignty to ensure regional stability. Severe drought in Yemen's Sana'a region has left farmers and shepherds struggling with parched fields and barren pastures. Many are abandoning crops and reducing herds due to insufficient rainfall. Experts note that while Yemen has historical drought coping mechanisms, the current situation, exacerbated by climate change, is the worst in decades. Over 85% of agricultural land remains uncultivated this season, devastating rural livelihoods, though the FAO attributes wider food insecurity primarily to economic factors and conflict, not just drought.